Hello, my name is Keith Hamilton, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Wrath of Com. Unless you're watching this on Twitter, in which case just welcome. And I suppose Wrath of Cam would make more sense, but Wrath of Com sounds cooler, so I'm sticking with it. Anyway, this is the first time I've done a breakdown workflow video, so bear with me. It won't be a detailed step-by-step tutorial, but it will generally show how I put this video together. And if you have any questions about specifics, just leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer. The Monolith video came about as a simple test of FXHome's CamTrackAR app in an outdoor setting, and of course inspired by all those monoliths popping up everywhere. I wanted to walk a distance down my street in front of my house, planting anchor points, and see how the track turned out. I did several takes over a couple of days, a sunny day and an overcast day. For some reason, the overcast day produced the best track. The tracks from the sunny days had a tendency to jump and shift, not sure why. My guess is that the sun washed out the street enough to give ARKit trouble. Now, even though the track on the overcast day is smoother, you can see how it drifts. It's not very useful for placing CG assets and having them look like they belong. This isn't the app's fault though. CamTrackAR relies on Apple's ARKit, and ARKit is not exactly meant to be used as a substitute for post-production camera tracking. There's a lot of limitations with it as far as camera functionality goes, although I've heard it works better with newer iPhones and iPads that have LiDAR. I'm stretching the capabilities of the app pretty hard here. Still, the final results aren't too bad, even with the jitteriness associated with ARKit's limitations. Using a gimbal helps. After transferring the footage and tracking data from my phone to my computer, I imported the footage and tracking data into After Effects using a script generated by CamTrackAR. The JSX file will automatically import your footage, create a comp, insert your anchor points, and create a camera. And just like that, I'm ready to start building my scene. For creating my CG environment, I use VideoCopilot's awesome Element 3D plugin. But you could also use Cinema 4D or Cinema 4D Lite, which is included with After Effects. In that case, you would simply export the After Effects comp using Maxon Cinema 4D Exporter. Open up the C4D file you saved and start building your scene. To create the canyon surrounding the monolith, I downloaded several free assets from Quixel's Megascans, like this fancy Icelandic lava cliff. The monolith is simply a cube primitive that I stretched and applied a metal shader to from VideoCopilot's Pro Shaders 2 collection. To make the canyon floor not flat, I enabled Element 3D's Noise to Form feature and adjusted to taste. Unfortunately, Element 3D can't use the displacement maps that were part of the Megascan download. Hey Andrew, if you're watching this, though I can't fathom why you would, please consider implementing displacement maps as a feature in the next version of Element 3D. That would be awesome. Anyway, throw in an optical flare and saber effect from VideoCopilot, some energy particles using Red Giant's Trapcode particular plugin, and I'm done. Oh, almost forgot to talk about using an HDRI for environmental lighting and reflections. You can download some great HDRI files from HDRI Haven, and best of all, they're free. Though you can become a patron and help defer some of their costs, which is what I recommend doing, especially if you're going to use a lot of them. I downloaded an HDRI that seemed to best suit my intended environment, and then applied it within Element 3D. The sky was a free asset from Adobe stock that I moved far back in 3D space. For the second part of the video, set on the mysterious homeworld of the monoliths, I used another free Megascan asset for the ground plane, and use Particle Replicator in Element 3D to create all the floating monoliths. I built the sky in a pre-comp with assets from a free asset collection called Cosmobox, and the stars were generated by Particular. Then I applied the pre-comp as a texture within the VideoCopilot Orb plugin. To create the reflections and the environmental lighting, I used the same sky pre-comp with the ground texture added as a custom layer within Element 3D and assigned it as the environment. It's not a true HDRI, of course, but it was good enough in this case. I rotated the environment in the physical environment settings until it matched the sky. To make the scene a standard 16:9 for export, I created a new 1920x1080 comp and dragged in the build comp. I also set the comp to 30 frames per second to reduce render time, and so it won't look so video gamey. And that's it, other than adding music and sound effects in Premiere, which is a skill I'm still trying to improve. I hope you got something out of this breakdown workflow overview. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions on how I can improve. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I'm going to try to do more of these in the future. See you next time. And, of course, like and subscribe and so forth. Retweet, whatever the kids are doing these days.